So like and subscribe if you want to. If not, that's fine. So the Celtics and Jrue Holiday are back in the rumors. The Celtics have emerged as a potential team for Jrue. But the way that it's set up, at least in the rumors, is kind of weird. It says the Celtics would trade their 3 picks to get a lottery or another lottery pick, and they would trade that to the Pelicans for Jrue. I feel like, number one, that might not totally be necessary. 2, I don't know how it's possible. Because, again, the one team, I mean, I've already talked about this, but the one team seems to be Atlanta, who would be willing to move out. But if Jrue Holiday's available and Atlanta was willing to move the 6th pick, why wouldn't they just move that pick for Jrue or other stuff for Jrue, especially because they don't have to match salary, you know what I mean? So it's like, why would they help out the Celtics in that scenario if they have a chance to get Jrue? So then it's like, if it's not going to be them, I mean, I guess it could still be them. You never really know with this stuff. But then I'm looking at the rest of the teams, like, are the Suns, Wizards, Knicks, Pistons, or Cavs going to trade out of this top 10 for more picks from the Celtics? I guess it's possible just because so many people think this draft is not as great, or somebody you pick at 17 is maybe going to be better than whoever you could get at 7 or whatever it may be. But there's also been rumors that the Pistons and other teams in the top whatever have been thinking about trading all the way up to go for LaMelo. So I have no idea what to think with all that. But to me, again, just this idea of the Celtics would have to do all that just to be in position to trade for Jrue Holiday. It's like, look, I like Jrue Holiday, and I think his market is definitely going to be good, but you're telling me the Celtics can't put out a good offer for Jrue right now? I mean, they've got their 3 picks this offseason. They've got all their picks moving forward. I don't think it's going to take 4 draft picks to get Jrue, but they've got a lot of freedom with what they want to do there. And they've got Hayward. Now, I think that would be the heart of it. You know, is Hayward a good return for the Pelicans on top of whatever picks the Celtics would be willing to give him, whether it's number 14 and the Pelicans would have the 13th and 14th pick in this draft to go with Hayward. I've seen some people talk about Kemba. I don't think that one's real. I don't think the Celtics would move Kemba for Jrue. I think it would have to be Hayward. Not only just because I think Hayward is expendable on this roster for the right return, but also because the Celtics are so deep into the luxury tax. I'm pretty sure the only possibility is moving Hayward. You think about, is Gordon Hayward, the 14th pick, and maybe one other pick in the first round the Celtics have, is that a good enough return for Jrue Holiday if you're the Pelicans? Well, I mean, it depends on what other teams are willing to give you. We did that whole spiel. We've talked about, what was it, like the Bucks and the Nets were a part of that. I mean, if the Nets are going to give you Dinwiddie or LeVert, that still might be the best return. But I think anything is possible right now. So maybe it's Hayward and a few picks. And now you think about Hayward with the Pelicans. I mean, they could view him as a trade asset. They could view him as a guy they can hold on to for hopefully not another max contract once his contract is done. This all assumes he accepts his player option, and even that is a bit of a mystery. But let's say Hayward was with the Pelicans. You re-sign him for a little over $20 million annually. I think it could work. I feel like some people would think that the fit of Hayward, Ingram, Zion wouldn't work. I don't agree. I mean, Hayward at 2, Ingram at 3, Zion at 4. All guys are talented. All can, well, 2 of them can shoot. All 3 can make a play off the dribble. All 3 can pass. I think that would work out pretty well. Hayward can, of course, switch across a few positions. Like, I don't think putting him at 2 guard is really that weird of a thing. But if not, the Pelicans could also view him as another trade guy. I don't know. They have some options, and if it went with some picks, then maybe that'd be a good return. But you don't know. And for everything I'm saying, maybe I'm wrong, and the way the Celtics could get Jrue is they really have to get another top whatever pick, and some other team would be willing to do that if the Celtics gave them their 3 picks. Again, you never really know with this, but I just speculate as best I can. If we think about the other side of this, which is Jrue Holiday on the Celtics, of course, I mean, I like that return more than trading Hayward for insert big guy number 400 that Celtics fans want to come up with. The question would be Jrue's next contract, because the Celtics are not exactly cheap between Jalen, Tatum's impending max, and Kemba. So we'd have to see with that. But as far as the basketball is concerned, I mean, Jrue Holiday and Marcus Smart on the same team, that It's honestly a little frightening. I mean, I would want it because it's my favorite team, but even I'd be scared for like every guard in the NBA, especially the Eastern Conference. And the Celtics would be able to generate open shots for Jrue in a way that he has potentially never had. I mean, AD definitely got him some open looks, but the Pelicans as a whole were not good outside of that one season. And before that, it was the time in Philly where the leading scorer was Lou Williams at 15 points a game. So Jrue playing off of everything the Celtics do, it would be cool. I don't want to dive into it too much. If it happens, then we'll do that whole spiel. But this is interesting. I mean, based on just how many things we're seeing about Jrue, it seems like a safe bet he's going to get traded. And it'll be interesting to see what the Pelicans really want for that. I mean, if I was them, I would want a veteran who can help me out right now, who I'm hoping I'm not going to have to give a max contract to eventually. And one draft pick would be good. I really don't know if they want to be in the market for rebuilding at this point. I mean, you signed Stan Van Gundy. He's a win-now coach. On top of Ingram just made the All-Star team. Zion is Zion, even if we're freaked out about his knees and all that stuff. So to me, Hayward just makes sense, and draft picks are always fun, of course. And again, I think Hayward fits into that roster pretty easily, honestly. They would still need a lead ball handler. Schroeder is available, by the way. Potential option for you. Maybe Lonzo would be the guy. I don't know. But even if they didn't find some awesome point guard, Hayward is still one of the better playmaking wings in the league. Combine that with Ingram and the progress he's made as a passer, I think it works. I guess the last thing to mention with the Celtics, just because they've been in the rumors enough now, is there a chance they do something that's not too wild? Maybe. I mean, they're over the luxury tax by like $7 million or something. So they might be forced to decline Daniel Tice's option, which from a basketball sense would not be good because he was good for them and he was their best center this year. But I don't know. Teams do stuff when they're at the luxury tax. It's the way it goes. I'm sure they would love to give Enes Kanter or some of these young guys to teams that are below the cap. Whether those teams would want those guys, I don't really know. You might have to attach a second rounder to one of them. I also understand that what I'm about to say is on page 5,000 of things the Celtics need to worry about this offseason, but Brad Wanamaker is actually a free agent, and they do need a backup point guard. So, for what that's worth. Anyway, to sum this whole thing up again, I don't really think the Celtics need to do this whole trade picks for other lottery pick to get Jrue. I think if they really want Jrue, they can just trade the stuff they've already got for him. Unless his market is really, really that good that only a lottery pick in the top 10 or whatever is how you're going to get him. Don't know, man. We'll see. Again, like and subscribe if you want to. If not, that's fine. And yeah.